Hey, hello, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Thracia 776 Negative Level Ups. I'm Mekkah, joined once again by Raisins. How's it going?
I'm Raisins, joined once again by Mekkah. No, seriously, I'm doing really well today. We are about to enter chapter 21, so we're really entering the end game stretch here, as I can tell. We've only got like a couple more units left to recruit.
Yes.
But we do get one today, right? He's a special one. He's from FE4.
Yeah, you might know him. He appears on the field once I've started a chapter. I'll do that in a second. While we have prep music, I just want to note real quick that episodes from here on out will probably be a fair bit shorter for quite a while because maps are very difficult to play out and very tedious and very counterproductive for me to play out because I'll just get a bunch of level ups that I don't want. Whereas warp skipping becomes a viable option because the next couple bosses are much easier for warp skipping than the previous ones. Like we get some escape maps and this boss, for example, is much lower defense than most of those big shield general baron boss with 10 million defense that we've been facing before. So episodes might get a little bit shorter is what I'm saying, but they won't be forever. And I'm probably going to keep them separate by episode still because I think that's just more convenient for the playlist. But just so you know, if the episodes start to get shorter, it's not because, we failed halfway through and gave up or anything.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to be doing 2 episodes or 2 chapters in one episode anytime soon, I guess is also what you're saying.
Yeah, because I still need to plan a fair bit before I can properly warp skip. And for example, in this chapter, there's things that can go wrong. Like normally at this point in this game, you can't really go wrong with warp skipping. Like if it goes wrong, whatever, you just reset, try again, I guess. But I have to make contingency plans because all my warps have shitty accuracy and my Bosskillers have shitty accuracy, so things can go wrong. And I don't know how many warps and everything I can afford to waste, so between maps, I still have to take some time to figure it out before I can waste Raisins' time with another recording session, So yeah.
That's not what happens at all.
That's my
also,
excuse.
And in addition to all that, let's not forget in the previous chapters, we've kind of been able to we've been able to afford to dilly-dally somewhat because it's it doesn't matter if we get a bunch of level ups on this unit, or it doesn't matter if we lose a bunch of stats on this unit. We just have a few things planned in mind for them, and then in the future, we'll just get another guy with good stats that we can, waste away with combats and whatnot. But we're kind of approaching the end of the game, and we don't have many units left, so we're almost at the end of our rope as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, it's also
just
because
a moment, we got
it's also because at the end of the game, there's going to be a point where I'm going to need effectively 6 good boss killers to beat the game, and so the units that I have left with good combat need to be as good as they can be. So for example, if you play out this map, there's a bunch of reinforcements that can come from here, like 5 mounted reinforcements, and then you got some soldiers from here, and I think there's another way from here. You got these Dragonets who are really annoying, so this is not a great map to play out. Plus it's just boring because it's just running out of ballistas, which I've done 5,000 times already. They're really annoying, these ballistas. There's one set of poison ballistas that makes the map even longer. I don't want to deal with that, so instead enjoy analysis the episode because we're about to get Dermot.
That's right. Just a question: Do poison ballistas wake you up if you're sleeping, or does poison at all wake you up if you're sleeping?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so. Hey, look, it's Leif and Julia.
Aw.
FE5 portraits of FE4 characters are so great.
That's kind of cool. Speaking of FE5 portraits
yes,
of FE4 characters.
Speaking of which, it's the one and only Dermot. He is very blonde in this game. He is very, very standout. So I asked Raisins for his first impression as usual on these units. I remember mine first impression. I was like, what's yours?
Oh, yeah, so, I mean, I did take a look at him, and even, in the context of negative growths, where, units like these, it's just a pre-promote with stats are kind of at a premium, I was like, this guy looks okay. I did, let's go down to the skills, right?
Okay.
Let's go to his big story. Everyone knows. Come on, it's the charm skill, right? Now, just a question, this does stack with Nana.
Yeah, it does. As in, if you put them both near someone, they'll get plus 20 hit and avoid.
That's right.
Thing. And then you can also stack it with Kingmaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because, not Kingmaker on Dermot or Nana, but someone else to get a third charm involved.
Okay, but that's a statement, it does work like that, just curious.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. So, I mean, in that case, there you go, additional charm. So, maybe you can be more than that, I guess. If he wields the Kingmaker, does it stack with that, or does the Kingmaker do a different unit?
No, what Kingmaker does is it gives you charm if you don't have it already. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. And
there you go.
Yeah.
There's also got the Bayo Blade. What's that give? Wrath Vantage?
Yeah, it does. Did I ever tell you if they work together or not?
I know that if you like have the normal skills, they don't work together. But in this circumstance, do they work together?
Yeah, they don't. They don't at all. I think what happened in development is they wanted them to work together initially. I think someone like Kaga was probably like, it'd be funny to put this on some copy units, like have a unit with Vantage Wrath for funnies. And then later in development, they might have been like, you know what, maybe that's actually too good, or maybe we don't want that for this game. And so they shut it off. And now Dermot has one skill that's really good, Wrath, and then another skill that negates Wrath with on the Blade, and it's just kind of sad. There are exceptions though that you might find interesting. If you ever find a way to make Dermot attack second anyway with Wrath, he will activate it. So for example, let me think I need to make sure to hit this properly, because the way Vantage works is when an enemy attacks you, you initiate combat, but it can like reverse it, the enemy also has Vantage, I believe. So what I remember doing is like one particular boss late in the game, that if you attack him with the Beal Blade, you actually activate his Wrath, because that enemy also has Vantage Wrath. It's very funny and very tragic when it does happen, but I forgot the exact interaction. But a very specific circumstance you can make them work together, but generally they will not work together.
So like, I mean, you did say it's kind of unfortunate that, you know, he has Vantage and Wrath, but it doesn't work together. If it just had Vantage, would you be like, alright, great unit? Because like, that'd be a strictly better circumstance if you just had Vantage.
I don't know, I would never look at this unit and say, wow, great unit, right? Because the stats just aren't there. If you had just Vantage, I mean, I just don't think Vantage is all that useful anyway, because you just have 1 to range on that sword anyway, and then 27 attack is not enough to get one-shots. So, I don't know, I don't think he's all that much better. Like, if you're playing with growth, if you're not playing negative growth, but I'm just playing, you know, casually, you're not just going to have characters that are better than this, but you're going to have many characters that are better than this. Like, everyone you've been trained at this point is just going to be better at fighting than this. But I do think there's value in Charm to some level, especially if you're not warp skipping a lot of maps like I will be. Maybe not in this map in particular, but the real chapter after this, chapter 22, you get a lot of leadership stars against you, just like before. And what you can do with Charm is kind of negate those enemy leadership stars by stacking a bunch of like leadership and Charm of your own. And you can actually like have a fair fight against the enemies. I think it's very useful for that kind of context. So in that sense, it can be useful, but that's one of the rare occasions. I think in the final chapter, there's also a case to be made that Charm is pretty good there. But it's a little bit rare. And then for combat, like, even in negative growths, I have many units that are probably better at combat, but I think I can still find a use for Dermot because I don't have many units, and there is one case, again, final chapter, that like, this is all building towards the final chapter at this point, where I think I can make use of maybe Dermot's stats and maybe the BO Blade. I'll have to see. I can think of like a couple scenarios, but I need to like get to the final chapter to like start properly figuring it out. But you might see him again for combat for that case.
That's right, and we're not gonna take advantage of it in this playthrough, but the BO Blade is a PRF. It can go onto Dermot or it could go onto Fergus in case you would rather give it to Fergus.
Yeah, and Fergus can actually like slay some people with it, because, you know, 30 crit is pretty good, so you can have like 100% crit with it.
He has 5 FCM as well, Dermot.
Yeah, and Dermot can also use another sword that's not listed here that we get later that you kind of need against one of the bosses. I say kind of need as in it's useful against one of the bosses. He's not the only character who can wield it, but he's one of the few. He's like one of 4. The other ones being like Leif, Nana. So that can be something else you can do. But again, kind of dependent on circumstances. So Dermot is someone, like in summary, I think I could say Dermot can be somewhat useful in very specific circumstances, and generally can be replaced by a better unit if you have unit trained with growths. But all very specific, and usually he won't be your only option. But he's a backup option in case your previous options are died, or you're playing like me, negative growths for 0% or something. But
well, I'm excited to see what you have planned for him, because you said you had a couple ideas in mind.
Yeah, well, not for this chapter. I like how they positioned him in such a way that he can't visit this house turn 1. He said you have to like grab it with Dean if you want to turn 1, which I'm gonna do, just to have it. Get this guy out of my way. Bah. Get this pure water. Okay, so in total, to beat this chapter the way I want to beat it, I'm gonna need 5 warps total. Maybe 1 less if I get lucky here. This boss, Fraus, start with a Blizzard equipped, so he's weighed down to 0 attack speed because it weighs 20 and magic is not negated by Constitution or anything like that. So anyone can double him as long as they have 4 speed or more. I actually checked, my Asbel has 3 attack speed right now, so I can't use him, even though he's like base plus promo.
Wow.
0 plus promo, and he can't double him. So there was like a chance for an Asbel comeback here, but it's not happening. I do have a couple of other cool options though that I'm going to try, but unfortunately my warp users are not that accurate. So I'm going to try to hit this warp over here with Amelda, of all people. Let's put her over here. See if that works.
Of course, we have to attack from 2 range.
Yeah. The positioning here is pretty smart by the enemy. They put a bunch of people in the way so that he doesn't can't get like one ranged by someone. So you have to rely on ranged weapons, which I have a couple of good ones of. So here's the fire sword, which ignores the throne, just like I did before. And we'll see how many we hit.
Defend this fort to the end.
Melda's adept, so she might attack a couple extra times, which would be welcome. We'll be okay. Alright, that's fine.
It's like expected.
Yes,
It
exactly.
could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Exactly. Okay, you go here. And now Xavier has exactly enough attack to do 11 to him. And he doesn't do cost, but he does quadruple. But now that I weaken him with Imelda, he will quadruple. So what we can do... Let me see. I think I'm going to try Salem first, because he has the least accuracy, right? Out of all the warpers remaining, which is really just Sleuth. Just going to go here. And I'm putting Xavier on the left, because he's in range of more enemies this way. Nice, I hit
In case
again.
you do need to see an enemy phase.
Yeah, because the enemies here are actually somewhat threatening. I'm really hoping Xavier kills, because this priest has sleep and I want to get rid of him. So what I'm going to do is Brave Bow here. And you can see this looks like 11 damage, so this guy from full HP would have 44. So if I hit all 4 of my shots, he would be dead. But I don't get a cost because his HP is higher at the start. But now that Melda weakened him, we just get this. For animations,
You do get it.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
But
easy.
Easy clap.
Alright, goodbye.
But if you have like a gross playthrough, you can just use one Bosskiller, not two. Like, Asbel like has the easiest kill of his life against this guy. Yo, rip.
You can just... Oh, wow. That's a lot.
You know what, honestly, as long as he keeps strength, I'm happy here.
And he's still got 4 AS too, so he can still legally double some people, right?
Yeah, I think honestly I'm gonna be happy with 4 AS. I hope he doesn't get another point of speed though. Okay, so now it gets a little bit interesting because I only have... Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna grab the sleep now this turn. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these warps.
Capturing the sleep staff.
Yeah, it has to be a multi-unit. I'll show you why, but I think you might have an idea. So we'll grab a Glade here.
Oh, because you're putting them onto the gate and then they have to canto off.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, it's also
Makes
like...
sense.
Yeah, actually, I think it could have been a non-mounted unit. Actually, I think I only needed him to be mounted for my gross playthroughs, where I could like seize this turn, but I don't want to seize because I have more stuff to do. So I actually need to see an enemy phase here, but I do want to cap this guy. But Glade should still be fine here. I think there might have been a better unit for that, but this is
Makes
okay.
sense. I could think of one other thing that you want to do right now, but I'm kind of curious, like why it would necessitate an extra turn. Oh, I know why. Okay.
Yeah, because
makes sense.
he also needs to seize, I think, is the proper addition to your thoughts there. But you'll see it next turn. Basically, there are 2 things I have left to do. One is seizing, the other one is what Raisin has in mind, I think. And I can't do both because I only have 1 dancer. What I can do, however, is I can dance for Safi and repair a warp staff real quick, because I think I might need to. I'm not sure if I do, because I might get a bunch of warps next chapter, but I only have 1 warp here, and the other one is broken. So I think, yeah, if I want to finish this chapter, this episode, I think I'm gonna need to repair this hammer at some point. So I might as well do it now. So go
repair the
here.
hammer. What is
Yeah,
this?
repair the
FE8?
hammer. Yeah. I used the hammer to repair the hammer. Okay, let's just give it to... Hold up, watch out, these ballista ranges. Yeah, okay, so... Let's just give it to Salem and repair it on him.
Okay, no.
And maybe hit. With your 0 skill. Okay, no skill issues so far, really cool.
Pretty good.
Leave a bit
Yeah, no wonder
closer.
you were concerned about surviving an enemy phase. I was like, what are you doing, dude? Just seizing at the other village. Like, get out of here. 5 head, but no.
Yeah, all good, I think. So now we just need to hope that Xavier survives. He can die, but the odds are not very high that he will die. So let's see how it goes.
I guess you could have gotten a 1 turn if one of your warpers had procced a move star, but
Yeah.
I don't know if any of them do. Like, I don't know if Sarah was
Sleuth
ever
has
involved
like
in the warp.
2, and Sarah right now is at like 12 fatigue. I wanted to like leave her on the bench for this one, if I could have. Which, I guess I could have used her because I have quite a few S-strings, but like I haven't planned out the rest of the game, so I'm a little worried about like running out still. But I
So
think
you're
if I'm
hoarding
at
items.
that's a little annoying.
Oh,
She could potentially break it if this goes all wrong, but I think there's not that many enemies here. Let's see how it goes.
doesn't look like it. I think if they're in range of Xavier, they like to attack without getting countered, right?
They do. They do also like to do damage, but I think that armor just had no choice. You can reach Xavier's too many forests. But I want one for him anyway. That's good. Might be like some guy from the top that goes for Melda as well. I did like 1 quick test, and she was left with like 8 fire sword users though, so it should be fine. I don't really need
Dodge
to
tank
use it per
Xavier?
se. Yeah, Xavier dodge tanking. He also has buffies. So There's another way you can like avoid an attack without sidestepping it. But it looks like we're just not getting hit today, which is great. Venom Ballista, I think? Yeah, that's like 4 damage at 6 hit. I'm not super afraid here. Especially because they're going for Glade, of all people.
He's on the boss. They're trying to one-turn us as well, dude.
Yeah, they're trying to get their gate back. I understand. The funny thing is, if he gets hit by a Venom Ballista here, he will get poisoned, but then instantly gets cured because the gate does that.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this one's...
Okay, here's the arrows.
That might cost, actually. Yeah. Ow.
Ow.
Alright, all good,
no.
all good.
We're fine.
Yeah.
We got more HP.
And this is for Xavier again. But now he's not going to cost because he's got lower HP now. So that's all good. This is why we put the tanky guy on the left. Let's see what the wyverns do. Oh, bolting time. I have a scroll, so no crits for this guy. Buffy's? Nope, just getting hit. Just making it tense here. Come on, Xavier.
Uh-oh. Come on,
You
Xavier.
got this. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Do they go for Xavier or Glade, I wonder? Oh, they're going for Glade, alright. But...
Not Thracia. There's a bunch of them over here, actually, I think. It's
Yeah.
a range of like 3 boys.
They might clog it up to the point that, oh, okay, you're just not attack. Okay, alright. I know some of these have javelins, some of them have Rider's Banes. I think some of them have both. Not sure what they think. Oh, actually, but they probably can't hurt him with their javelins. That's probably what's happening here. Okay, that's great. I'm glad they're not attacking him.
There you go. Alright, GG. Nice map.
Yeah, definitely chip XP here. Okay. Alright, that's cool.
Can we like capture a physical?
Yeah, I'm getting greedy again. But I'd have to like take drop with Imelda, and then Glade has to capture with the Silver Lance. 20 attack.
I mean,
he does 2-shot, so we could give it a go. It's a free
like, do we
bolting.
though? Like, can't we just capture the bolting?
Well, he has a Thunder as well in his inventory, so we do have to go into actual combat.
Oh, okay.
But he won't counter
forgot
attack
about
because he has that bolting. There's no reason not to try this, so let's do that right now. Take his stuff first of all. Take and release. And I want to cap him, not just because I don't want to get slept, but also because the sleep staff is highly useful to have on my own side. I'd rather have it with more uses. Oh, I don't 2-shot here. Well, this is why maybe I should have brought Dagger over. Well, I guess there's a chance of critting.
Might as well.
Yeah. Come on, Glade. That's not crit. Okay, whatever. That's fine.
It's, well, okay.
I don't need your bolting anyway, dude. I never wanted it anyway.
He got away with it.
Yes. Okay, let's do
the Glade ever level strength in this playthrough.
Wait, who?
The
Glade?
Glade.
I think
strength.
I remember at least one occasion. Let's see. Let's try Salem Warp again. Let's see. Is he fatigued yet? He's not fatigued yet. What about you? You're not fatigued yet. I need to fatigue someone, probably. That's okay.
We just want to fatigue somebody. That way we have an excuse to not deploy the next map.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a chance I won't deploy any staff user next map too, so it might not even matter at all. Let's just fatigue. You're the most valuable in a sleuth, but I don't know what that means for what I want to do. I also need to warp at least twice anyway. Alright, let's have Salem at least. Let's see, we need to hit all these really. Let's warp Lenoan first. She's gonna go over here, take a quick visit to the church.
And this is why I was thinking you were able to complete it in one turn, because I was like, well, how many warps do you have to do? And then I did the math on like how many warpers you have. I was like, oh, you got Lenoan over there, she can just warp. Ooh.
Lose everything, my guy.
That's like worst case scenario.
Definitely. Well, let's try to forget about that with a quick visit to the church.
That's right. But I totally forgot that Lenoan was one of the people whom you needed to warp, so she wasn't a warper.
Yeah. Lenoan also can't warp, and still won't be able to warp after this promotion. Because she has a Sia base, and I didn't train her at all, so she's going to be still at sea. But the reason for that is because I decided that Lenoan's magic is high enough that she's probably better off using status tabs, which are C or B rank. So I just want a really high magic rank B user, and then all my A rank stabs like warp and rewarp, they don't really need magic to work well, so I don't really care if Lenoan doesn't reach A. If she does at some point, like that can be useful potentially, but I have Salem and Safi. I might even have Tina with A rank stabs at some point, depending on how this goes from here. And that's probably enough. Worst case scenario, she can use Ensorcel as well. But she'll probably be someone who gets Ensorcels, because like, look at these promo bonuses. Look at these promo bonuses.
They come. Oh my goodness.
So strong. I think I gave her 1 magic ring. So now she has 15 magic, which I think is like the highest on my team. Maybe tied with Imelda if she has a fire sword. So really, really solid. Powerful unit.
And she has 9 skill now.
Yeah, which I guess she can miss now, unfortunately. Oh, right, she had less before, that's right. So before she had 4 skills, so actually +5 is really good there too. And Adept, I guess, that doesn't really do anything. But yeah, Sage alone, pretty good. Pretty highly useful. And now we just have one more warp to do. And that will be on Leif. So I'm just
there's no more captures who want to do anything, right? Like, I don't think so.
I mean, I could warp over Dagger to try and get a bolting, but like, come on, no way.
Come on, no.
I don't think so. Alright,
yeah, that's not happening.
Let me just use Sleuth here. And break this warp, I suppose. I kind of want to keep around one of these warps. I could swear I have more warp stabs around, but I guess maybe they're in convoy somewhere. I don't remember.
If we go in convoy, there's like 5 full use warp stabs. It's like, oh, right.
Possibly. I know there's at least one for Rustpit. Well, let's just try this one. We know it's going to hit because it's Sleuth. Let's just wrap it up here. Can always replay it if it really soft locks me next chapter, which I don't think will happen. Here you go. It's good. And then I mounted all my characters to make sure that they are available to be mounted next chapter if they need to be. But I don't think it'll be needed. But yeah, that's the chapter wrapped up. Nice and clean.
GG, well played.
GG, well hit. Well RNG'd.
Okay, well, to be fair, we missed the bishop. But...
Oh, true. The bishop we were not going anyway. Yeah, we missed that guy. Never lucky.
I mean, we could. Come on. Clearly, the RNG is bugged against us. We didn't proc that 5% crit.
For sure. Next chapter.
Okay, actually, just go restart the chapter.
Yeah, for sure. So next chapter should be 21x because we left Elba behind in chapter 19. So we'll be able to get some treasure there, recover Elba if we feel like it, and generally have a good time. Maybe do a fatigue reset before chapter 22, and that is the chapter we'll be reading Reinhardt. But first, we'll be doing some prisoner escape, and I look forward to seeing you that time. But that will be next time.
Look forward to seeing you next time.